Hello and welcome back to SML Total Access Christmas Edition. I'm Primetime 000 and joined by me as always is Dan and Matt. What's going on, fellas?
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Let's go, baby. Hey, let's not waste any time. We're going to move on to first down and a topic that I don't mean to toot my own horn. I don't mean to say that I was right. But was I right? Is QP broken? He's lost to KJ and now Gutta. He got beat down by Dan. What's going on with QP?
Yeah, I'm not ready to say he's broken, but he is starting to crack. This is not the QP that we know. His wins aren't impressive. He's 6-4, but his wins: Fig, Coop, Paulie, Finns, DW, and then Coop again. So he doesn't really have that signature win yet. I guess Paulie and DW, depending on how you view them. You could call the KJ and Gutta losses strategic if you are a conspiracy theorist. But Gutta's the Brother Bowl, and your field played you really well. That's a tough one. I don't know how he lost to KJ. I don't think he's broken, but he's definitely got a crack, and he's not he's not the fearsome guy that he once was.
Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the word broken is the right word. That doesn't mean he can't be fixed, though. So I was shocked a few weeks ago. I got to admit when Prime mentioned Q as the guy who was disappointing right now, I was kind of taken back. I was like, really? He really only lost to me on a failed 2-point conversion in the playoffs, and he was in the Super Bowl season 1. But then since that happened, I don't know what Prime did, man. That's a little scary, a little spooky. the Prime powers he's got over there, because he barely beats Coop. He loses to KJ, loses to Gutta. I'm really interested. I'm marking that game, Bomber versus Q. I think it's either this advance or next advance. That's going to be a real big kind of benchmark for both those guys. Yes. to kind of decide a little bit how's this season going to go for those guys. So circle that game on your calendar. That's a must-watch SML game.
Yes, maybe we can get that being an SML live game. But I was circling that game, and to me, I do think he's broken. A lot of people go through the yips, but I think beyond that, last cycle he was the darling of the league, and there was no X on his back. And it's a lot easier to win like that. It truly is. Now he has to find a way to win when everyone expects him to be great. This is what separates the guys who are legends from the guys who are just very good. QP is going to have to find a way to win now that he's gone through adversity. And he really hasn't gone through much adversity in his SML career, and now he's at that point. So this is a pivotal point in QP's SML career. We talk about legacies. How will you be remembered? Will you be remembered as a cycle guy who had one good cycle and then you kind of went back to what he was? Or will he find a way to power through this and show that he's a multi-cycle winner? That is big. But hey, only time will tell, really. He's broken for now, though. Moving on to topic 2. Evals, always a fun, debatable, highly debated topic, and we're going to talk about them today. How should members take their season 2 scores or their scores to the first 2 seasons? And Dan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, listen, evals are a great tool. They're a necessary tool. They help to distinguish between kind of guys maybe in the middle where you're trying to pick apart, nitpick a little bit who should pick where, who should pick anywhere. In the end, though, they really aren't going to matter, because if you just do what you're supposed to do, you stay consistent, you stay as sim as you can, you do your content, you active in chat, you'll be fine. Now, if you have a mark where you're not too happy about it, simply DM somebody. DM Prime, DM some of the guys on the committee, ask them the questions, see what you can do. But then just give it some time. Like, it might not change overnight. It might not change over a season, but just keep doing the things you're asked to do. Keep doing them over and over again. And eventually they'll all work out. So people need to chill a little bit. I know there's some people in there. I'm going to, name names. Faz is one of them that just keeps on getting there, griping and griping and griping. He's been around the SML long enough. He just needs to stay quiet, do what he's asked to do. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Eventually he'll be fine.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways really you can look at evals, especially this early. You can sit and whine and complain and complain, complain, and complain, and nothing will ever change. Or you can take a long look in the mirror and say, okay, I got an 8 in this. Why did I get an 8 in this? If it's content, pretty probably self-explanatory. If it's gameplay, I mean, just take the bias out of it for a second. What do you think you might be doing that might be a little bit on the unsim side? And eight's not saying, "Oh God, you're not sim at all." It's just saying you're doing something. And if you don't know the answers to that, even after looking in the mirror or watching your gameplay or what have you, ask Prime or any of the people on the committee. Ask your peers that you've played. Hey, did you feel like I did anything a little excessively? Maybe ask a division mate who you've played 7, 8 times by now, who might know more about that. Instead of just oh, this is a bunch of garbage, and don't compare yourself to others either. Oh, pointing fingers at this person and that person. Everybody was reviewed by the same person, and so obviously that person felt something was different about you. So ask those questions and then improve. It's a long cycle. There's a lot of time to improve.
Yeah, and for me, I think that going in, people have to understand that they're not going to agree. Like, we share the whole Excel spreadsheet to have complete transparency on evals because we want to be honest. And there's pros and cons with that, obviously. And the cons are people see all the rankings, and there's over 200 rankings, different ratings, maybe over 225, I think. So from there, people are going to disagree with something. Oh, this guy got a 9 and it should have been a 7, and you got to understand there's going to be a small percentage you're going to disagree with, and maybe it's 5% of them or something. And from there, you either have to have the mindset that, okay, there's a 5-man committee, all from different walks of life, strategically picked. None of these guys are from the same clique. None of these guys are from really the same background. These guys are all from different walks of life. And you have to either think, okay, these guys are trying to be fair or they're trying to screw people. And you have to make that distinction. And if you then and that'll decide your mindset moving forward. And then after that, you have to understand that it's so early in the cycle. We're only done with season 2. The top 20 guys are all within 9 points of each other, which is incredibly close. A lot can change in 5 or 6 seasons. And I just think that the one weakness a lot of people have is their inability to fairly judge people on their works. And I personally, there's people I don't like, and that's why I have people help me review because I don't want to be on bias against them. And I think that sometimes people naturally they can't distinguish if that guy's doing a good job or not, or if a guy struggles with scheduling historically, and if he has a good season, they don't think that maybe he should have a good rating for that season, and so people struggle with that. But I think to put a bow on it, the heart of evals is just to make the league be more active, make more sim players on the field, and promote a better, less toxic chat. It has historically, and I think it creates accountability that it's just a good accountability tool. And that's really all I have on that topic. I know it's a lot, but moving on to third down. Hey, back to football, and 2 hosts on the show, Colts and 49ers, both unbeaten. Prime and Dan. Are we heading for a 19-0 versus 19-0 Super Bowl? Matt, what do you think?
Oh boy, I think we're on a crash course for a Colts Niners Super Bowl. Yes, but that's not the question. It's, are we on a track for a 19-0 versus 19-0? I'm gonna say yes, but you can guess the hesitancy in my voice. Dan's gonna have a hungry QP in a couple of weeks who will want to beat him to just beat Dan. But also, we just talked about it. He might be fighting for his playoff life. We don't know what's going to happen, so he's going to need to win that game possibly. That's going to be a tough game. And then Prime, you've got Faz, who could be in a similar situation, not likely, but Faz always is going to play you tough. He's an elite player in this league. I still consider him an elite talent in this cycle. He just got off of a Super Bowl loss. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say yes. I think the way you guys are playing, you both have the identity on both sides of the ball that I've talked about with Dan before, and you're both playing good football. Obviously, you haven't lost yet, and I think you both want it that bad. I think you both want. You have to want to just have to want to be 19-0, and not just, oh, I'm the 1 seed. I don't care if I lose a couple. I think you both want it, and I think we're going to get it.
Dan? Wow. Did we lose Dan in the biggest moment to talk
Oh,
about?
he's speechless.
He's so speechless. Did he mute himself? Well, I'll talk.
You can't hear me?
Oh, you're back now. Okay, you're alive now.
Oh wow, man! I unmuted myself and it didn't work. I had to remute
You
myself.
fat
Anyways,
fingered. Oh boy, that's maybe
that
that's
was no,
foreshadowing.
that was God just giving me a few moments to pause before I answer this question because I don't know which character to step in. Do I step in the showman, presentator? Yeah, I'm gonna rip primes, whatever, and I'm gonna go
Oh.
undefeated, and no one's gonna stop me. Or do I go into the man? I've already been down that path, and every time I open my mouth, I lose a game. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go undefeated. I'm gonna beat Prime in the Super Bowl.
That's good.
Oh
I
wow.
love it. I love it. Here's the truth, though. I have the number one ranked scoring offense and defense, and thank goodness I didn't trade the farm for old Trey Lance down there. Otherwise, I'd be in a world of hurt right now trying to play that super team over there in San Fran. Um, I'm going to go undefeated, and I'm going to play Dan. And if he plays anything like he played me early in the cycle and some off the record games, I feel pretty good about my chances as well. Um, so it's going to be.
See, that's cute there. That's cute that you're still you're remembering regular season, preseason. Why don't you bring up like how you played in a Super Bowl this? Oh, wait a second. You can't bring up that. That's right, because you're the only guy in this podcast right now that doesn't have a Super Bowl win. I
Hey, that's
forgot about
true.
that.
That's
I forgot about that.
Hey, we'll see what happens. The Colts playing good football. 49ers playing good football, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, Dan. So let's make this kind of like Kobe and LeBron, but we actually make it happen. I'm ready for it.
Don't
Um,
disappoint me on the AFC side. Just don't disappoint me.
hey, we'll see. Fourth down. It's Christmas time. Santa's coming. Somebody gotta give somebody a present, and you gotta put coal in somebody's stocking. Dan, who are you giving a present? Who are you giving coal?
Yeah, I want to give two presents out to both my NFC West guys that are playing good football, KJ and Coop. Both those guys, our record doesn't look like it, okay, but both those guys are playing good football. And what I want to tell you, and this is for everyone else, let them be an example to you how to build a team. Both those guys have built a team by going after getting a good unicorn type player that they need on the defensive side, and it's helping them be able to play some good defense. Both those guys are playing good defense. So that's a present for both those guys. That's a little advice for some other people out there. I'm going to give a Cole out there. And I hate to do it. He played a really good game against Bomber, but prior to that, Fig, my man, you had lost a combined 3 games, I think, by an average score of 41-3 or 41-4, I think. Figs, man, I'm giving you a little coal in that stocking. I know you got some big things coming on in your life, and we're excited for you being a new dad and all those things. Baby reveal coming out here in less than 24 hours. But I got to give you a little coal for your Madden play, man. You got to step that up. Good job against Bomber, but keep it going. A little coal for your stuffing or your stocking stuffer.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a present out to all the people in the SML, all the owners that don't win very often. It's very, very easy in Madden League, not just the SML, but any Madden League that I've ever been in over the 10 plus years I've been in them. It's super easy to stay in a Madden League when you're winning. Winning is fun. Um, Everybody thinks winning is fun. Losing is not fun. And you need the guys in the league who probably may never win or will always struggle. And um, all those guys that don't quit, they don't just get frustrated and leave usually. You need those guys in your league because 14 teams make the playoffs now, and that means over half your league isn't making the playoffs. Some of them probably not the entire cycle. And those are the guys that carry the league. They make it happen because if they all left, there would just be 14 of us, and we wouldn't have a league. We'd play in the computer all the time. My coal goes to Gutta, and I love this guy. He's one of my favorite members. He makes me laugh in chat. He's a super nice guy. You can talk crap to him, and he'll take it, and all that kind of stuff. But that Malik Willis trade, buddy, it wasn't the right move. You should have asked somebody. It was never the right move. You defended it. You defended it. You defended it. You're now like 2-9 or 2-8. I don't know. You got 2 wins and it's week, whatever, 11, 12. It's Christmas time. You're in big trouble. You're probably going to have to draft a QB, or you're going to be stubborn, stick with Malik and because you don't want to admit that was a terrible trade. Yes, I understand he has, he was the leader in yards, but he has like 30 more attempts than everybody. If you watch the game versus Faz, he couldn't hit a simple slant or a zig route. And when you play the elite competition, they're going to make him make throws, not just one, but 2, 3, 4, and you're never going to win with them. So you already got your coal with Malik, but it's time to bite the bullet and move on.
Yeah, for me, I got two presents. My first one is to NYT. Thank you, NYT, for taking Carson Barkley. You took the bullet for me. You took a normal dev quarterback, the pick before me, 18 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. My prediction of throwing 50 interceptions, maybe not that far off before the season. Also, I want to give a present to Noel Overlord, quietly winning his division at 7-3. Nick Chubb is having a freakish season, and his schedule, he's still got some winnable games on there. So I think Noel could make the playoffs this year. My coal, I'm gonna give a lump of coal. Brace yourselves, buckle up. I'm gonna be getting tagged about at some point within the next day or two. QB stud. QB had a chance. He had a chance to put himself on the map that he's back with the game against Dan. He had Dan right where he wanted him, and he blew it. Then he beats Bomber by 2 scores. And then week 11, another kind of biggish game. I know No Bean isn't like a great elite player, but when you're QB trying to earn your stripes again, you got to win that game. And QB loses that game as well. He's still got Matt left. He's still got Faz left. And, I know Mike likes beating QB, so there's still some games left that QB could lose again. So I'm putting the coal in the stocking of QB stud because he had a chance to prove that he was back, and all he did was kind of blow his opportunity.
That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous.
I'm a QB believer, but I like it. QB needs to get out of his own head as a believer and a preacher of QB's ability. Get out of your own head. We're all playing the same Madden 23. We put the same disc in. We open the same app. Doesn't hate anybody more than anybody else.
Yeah.
When things go wrong and don't go your way, don't get frustrated. Stick in the game. Stay with it. You're talented. You can beat anybody, but you're losing to yourself.
Yeah. Matt, by the way, Matt 5 time. What do you got for us? I'm expecting something great.
Yeah, this might be the most controversial Matt 5 ever. Mostly because it's when I do a team ranking, it's not it's not disputable because I've got evidence. But my top 5 Christmas movies of all time.
Wow.
Nice.
At number 5,
Nice.
I've got Die Hard. And I only think it's probably the best movie on this list, but I know a lot of people. There's a debate on whether it's a Christmas movie or not. So I'm gonna go with Die Hard. At number 4, I've got Jingle All the Way. This is a fantastic movie, and if you haven't seen it, it's $4 on Amazon Prime. It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. It's got Sinbad in it. It's funny they're running around town trying to find this sold out toy. Fantastic, underrated. I wonder how many people have even heard of it.
I remember that
number
movie.
3, I've got. You have, yeah. It's fantastic. I love it. It's one of those. I don't ever watch it unless it's the holidays, but it's a great, fun family movie.
Yeah.
At number 3, I've got Home Alone. Absolute classic. Probably one of the first Christmas movies I ever watched. I can't imagine anybody doesn't like it. It's better than number 2. Number 3 in my mind doesn't exist, but 1 and 2 are great. I prefer 1. At number 2, I've got Bad Santa. That's not a family-friendly movie. So please don't rally the family around the TV for that one. But it's my kind of humor. Billy Bob Thornton is cast excellently in that movie. I can't think of anybody else to play him. But it's absolutely hilarious. If you just got adults around or the kids are in bed and you want to just have some fun, maybe you've been drinking a little bit, throw that movie on. It's fantastic. And at number 1, I realize I'm basic, but it's got to be Elf. I mean, it's just an absolutely fantastic movie, start to finish. It's not just a great Christmas movie. It's a great movie. You could take the Christmas out of it. I could watch Elf in the middle of June. It's a fantastic movie, but it is a Christmas movie, and so it ranks at number 1.
Wow, a good list. There's some. I would include the Tim Allen Santa Claus number 1 in there. I enjoyed that movie. Classic.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a good list. That's a good list. I think I've watched Elf probably 12 times since the beginning of November.
I bet your daughters
My
love
wife,
it.
my wife loves it.
Yeah,
My daughters love
women
it.
love
Yeah, we
that
watch
movie.
all the time. What you missed though, you missed a classic one, and maybe it's just because you're pretty close to my age. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's got to be on your list. It's got to be a top five. It's got to be a
Yeah,
top
I did
five.
miss it. That is, yep, I did miss it. That is a fantastic movie. You're right.
So
There's just so many. I tried to think of them all, and that one is.
But I like Jingle All the Way. I like Bad Santa. I like the little combo mixture in there. I like Home Alone 2 because I think Kevin has the worst parents ever created, so it makes me feel better as a parent.
yeah. No, Matt, that was a good Matt 5. Really festive around here on Total Access today. Is we're recording on Christmas Eve, guys. SML Total Access right now, the best show on the SML network. You know, we've been pumping it out, boys. We're dominating. You know, if anybody's listened this far, I challenge you guys to see if you can beat us because we're pumping out the content.
Would you think of anything less than 2 Simbardi winners on the podcast? I mean, come on, Matt and I bring it.
Really,
Matt and I bring it.
Really, yeah. I'm just glad
2 Simbardi winners.
I'm glad to ride your guys' coattails and facilitate, you know, to the greatness that is SML Total Access. Guys, thanks for listening to SML Total Access. That was Dan. I think he's got 3 Simbardis. Matt, who's got 1. And I'm the 19-time champion. Let's not forget that. Everybody, thanks for listening.
Go.
And have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.